Hello again, listeners or viewers. Welcome back to the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. I'm your host, Solomon, aka Bruce, and my co-host, Mr. Chama. Nakamnak.
Boy, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Not too. I mean, I'm good, but nerves, man.
Are
Not a
you
lot of
are you
nerves, you
already
know.
in the, are you already in the beach?
No, 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 no. I have a final to play tomorrow, so yeah, man. It's like you know,
Not
there's
yet. Not yet.
a lot of nerves, a lot of anxiety, basically. So most of us are
Eh,
anxious, but yeah. They, that's why we recorded today, the day before in my,
Actually,
in
yeah,
the
yeah. I
US,
wanted to tell you that.
because
I said, let's make it tomorrow.
tomorrow is gonna be difficult. Yeah, like I don't know which version of me you're gonna get. You're gonna get either the sad version or
Uh-huh.
the jubilant version. But yeah. Anyways, we are recording game week 38 preview today. The timestamp is Tuesday, the 20th of May. It's about almost 9:35 here in the US.
Mhm.
Japan.
Yeah, it's 1:30 in the afternoon in Japan. It's
Mm-hmm.
quite hot today.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. Same too. It's heating up here too as well. So,
Yeah, nice.
yeah, this is the final game week of the season. For fans like us, to be honest, if it wasn't for tomorrow, I think I probably would have checked out a long time ago. So, yeah, unless this is the final season for FPL, and yeah,
The final
it is
game
what
week.
it is.
Well, of course,
Yeah,
we'll announce the winner of our league next week, maybe a little one, just to announce it. Who won the
yeah,
league?
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting though, because there's still. We'll talk about the mini league. Last week it was quite close, but yeah,
yeah,
the gap between the first and the second was pretty close. So you never know. It all comes
yeah.
down to this game week 38. Let's see who can pull up surprise and see. It's been very competitive in our mini league this season. So yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the game week 37, the last two games we have played today,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was a very low scoring game week. So we'll start with you. How was your game week? You probably share your.
My game week was yeah was me. I would say I'm not great. I had 37 points, just 37 points. Let me just put it, 39 rather, 39 points. Can you see my team?
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
right there, 39 points.
Oh, the average was
Not,
39. I thought it was 28. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, maybe they did not update by that time.
Yeah, I think you didn't update. That's why I was like, wow, this is really low.
Yeah, I looked. I think in the weekend after the game week, because of course there were a couple of games to
Hmm.
go in the week. That, like you say, it ended in midweek. That was Man City and Crystal Palace game because of their FA Cup involvement. They could not play in the weekend.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was really, really looking bad at that point. I think I was around 28, almost. I think only Mbeumo with his five and maybe what's his name, Rogers were the players to give me something. But like much, I didn't have much after that either because I had a couple of three Man City players in my team, and Munoz of Crystal Palace, and Munoz got only one, and the Man City players, other than Marmus who scored in that game, um, I think that was it. So I ended the game with just 39 points. That is the average, which it's okay if you get the average score. But in defense, in goal, I had Fleck and starting. Bradley, oh yeah, Bradley to give me an assist, but Liverpool lost that one. He considered four in the end. Guardiola with his 2 pointer, Munoz, and then Morgan Rogers. Finally, he's starting for me. And Captain Salah, Captain Salah disappointed with his 2 pointer. He
Once
should have
again,
scored.
I mean, if there was somebody else who's doing well right now, Salah would have been out of my team for a long. Since when you guys were mathematically confirmed champions, I would have taken him out of my team. But there's
Taking him
nobody.
out
But
of
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Minte was also involved in that game with 2 points, and Mbeumo five. KDB in his final home game for City as well. Just
Yeah,
he
the
got me three
legend
points.
KDB.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then up top you have Marmous and Wood, 8 points. On the bench I have really nothing there. Isaga started actually for was it Wood, and then Wood came in for him. Then finally, yeah, in defense, like at least I'm happy with my bench. There is not a lot of points on the bench.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
something
just
good.
3 points. Yeah.
Yeah, and my rank went. I got a game week rank of 5 million, and my rank went from 700 to around 800,000. Yeah, I dropped in. I got a red arrow. How did you do? How did you do with your game week?
Let me show my team. 57 points. I mean, started
Flyer.
off really well, with Watkins scoring a goal, which was like, oh, this is good because
Mhm.
nobody knows where the goals are gonna come from. Remember, I told you that Isaac was gonna
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know whether did he play or he didn't play at all, or
he did not play. He did not play.
yeah, because I had an inkling. I saw it online, so I was like, oh, okay, this is a bit weird. Somebody's gonna have a surgery and then he's gonna play in the next game. He's not really fully fit, but I think maybe they just like, what, let's just keep him. And now the problem is like how to figure out where the points are gonna come from, unless you target teams that are actually playing for something. Crystal Palace are fine now, because they'll be in Europe anyway, so they're okay. All the other teams is gonna be Chelsea, Aston
Mhm.
Villa, Newcastle, which other
Guy,
team again? Man City. So yeah, apart
not
from
not now
Liverpool
for
and
us
Arsenal,
because
yeah,
Chelsea,
Liverpool,
Chelsea play not
Arsenal.
now for on the final day, right?
So yeah, it's going to be a tough match. I don't see a lot of goals in that. It's going to be close. Yeah.
Mhm.
So basically, it's just how, or like, what players do you want to target, basically? And Chelsea now are not in the best form. They played against us, even though they won. It wasn't really like they blow us out of the water type of game. It took Cucurella like or James' moment of brilliance to cross that cross, and then Cucurella scored. But yeah, nobody knows where the points are gonna come from. It's just coming from everywhere. This guy scored 2 goals today. What's his name again? Eddie Nketiah. Crystal Palace.
Eddie, better call Eddie.
Yeah. Eze didn't start, and people like, oh, and Cunha didn't start too. But
Yeah, crazy man.
Eze came in and got in and got a goal.
Assist.
So 6 point. Yeah, that's pretty massive for me, honestly. So
Mhm.
my team, as it starts, Martinez with 6 points, Cucurella, who I brought in last minute because I just kind of have an inkling that it's going to be a close game. I don't know. It's just one of those ones where I was just lucky.
Did you
Came in
bring
and gave me.
Pereira against Manchester
Yeah,
United?
yeah. I did. Yeah.
Really? What did
I just
Bayern do?
I just looked at the game and I just knew it was going to be a close game, and it's not going to be your obvious what do you call it, players that's going to score. I think I was looking for a 6 pointer, honestly. But then at the back of my mind, I was like, if there is somebody who's going to make the difference, it's going to be him. So yeah, I brought him in and he gave me 15 points. He paid,
wow,
he
that's
paid
good.
me, even though
That's why.
even though it was against my team. It's one of those things where I just
Yeah.
had to take the emotion out of it and just analyze it. I was like, yeah, I need these points, man. So bring in the points.
Interesting.
Vadio 2 points, Munoz 1, Salah. Like I told you, I could be somebody else, but at this point, you can't really pick out anybody who's going to replace him. So just leave him there. Bomo
Yeah.
with 5, Rogers 6, Eze 6. You kind of saved my game week. Murphy with 2, and then Captain Watkins with 10, and then Wood with 2. We're pretty poor. It's just 57 is fine. Like I'm happy with that. I didn't see anywhere else where the points are going to come from. Anyways, look at my bench. Ariola with 2-0 for
Yeah.
Isaac. Saliba with 1.
Mm. The players are also, like you say, only the teams that are playing for something are the teams to target.
Yeah.
And
I
right
mean,
now, we
it's
don't have a lot of transfers to make, right? So there.
that's the thing, right? So it's like you have to find out where the points are going to come from, and unless you take like a really big risk on you try to like play the differential card. If you're chasing like me, you might as well just like, okay, whatever. Let me see where this is where this is going. But
Mm.
yeah, that's it. So going into our mini league update, the manager of the week is, let me see if I can share this real quick.
Mm.
It's AA. I don't know, AJ and then AA. Nobody knows, but
AJ.
yeah. Apparently UK, right? The England.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with 82 points, I mean that's pretty good. Game week rank of 18,000. That's pretty rare. Imagine if you have the score this week, you are probably flying, man. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Overall rank of 160, so you can tell. So congrats, AJ, for being the manager of the week. the penultimate week before the final one. So yeah, racking up those points. The team as it
Bench boost. He played the
stands.
bench boost.
Oh, bench boost. This makes sense. It's like, yeah, because I was surprised that got all these points because pretty much the same kind of players except for Visa.
Consa, Bowen.
All the big hitters this week. This is a good bench boost,
It's a good bench. This is
better than both of our bench boosts this season. It's my least favorite chip to play because it's like a troll chip. The weeks leading up to the bench boost, like you will start having the points. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
The moment you play it, all the points will disappear. It's like
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Next season, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play it so early, and I'm just going to take it out of my mind.
You can't do it like some do, like on game week 1.
Yeah, I just take it out because I've never had it since the beginning of me playing FPL. I can't remember of a time where I played the bench boost and I was like, it was really, really successful.
Yeah, happy.
Maybe it has, but I can't even remember. It's always like, I missed it. It's very annoying. But yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to
I think the problem with that is because you have a set amount of money to spend, right? And your squad, the 11 you start with, usually you spend a lot of money on them. So
yep.
And you don't have a lot of money to spend on bench, to be honest. That is the reality.
But the thing is, remember, most times when we play the bench boost, we play it after we wildcard. Yeah. So we take into consideration that even the bench needs to be like, a really reasonably good bench.
Yeah. And then you have to compromise the money somewhere else, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the bench, like usually before I played it, I usually play it after after the second wildcard. You know what I mean? So that I can have a good. So my first half of the season, the bench is not good at all compared to after a wildcard. The bench is much better, but then still the points are less. So I might as well just play it in the first, in the first half of the season anyway. So yeah, it's like a troll chip, man. You can't really figure out how it's gonna go.
You can't really win.
Yeah, man, it's one of those. But yeah, going back to AJ's team, Minos, Brantwaite, Vardiol, and then Shade. He went real in on the Brentford team. Elanga with 5, Bruno De Bruyne with 3. It's a pretty differential team. Captain Bowen with 10, Wisa with 10, Wood 2, Haaland with 2, and then the bench, yeah, you have Leno 6, Bowen with 8, Konsa 15, very good, and then Nico Williams with 4. So yeah, so congrats. That's pretty dope that you kept your your bench boost all this while. So people that are playing, that have their chips, it's pretty impressive, because I don't think I can hold my chip until like the second to last game week of the season anyway. So yeah. The table, the top 5 as it stands. In 5th, we have Thomas Bright. Staying in 4th is Stone Jones United. Dropping down to 3rd is Mauda Jallo. Yeah, he's right. I told you there's some movement. You see this? Somebody who was leading the thing for like a few weeks, probably like almost the second half of the season has now dropped to 3rd. Pretty bad. Pretty bad game week. 46 points is pretty low for him. But they've got the points, man. And then moving up to 2nd is Hani Mukhtar, and this moving up to 1st is the guy that came in from last game week, Miss Hannah Munda. That's him, right? That's the person, right? Dr. Humanity. Yeah. So it's now topping the group. Just sneaked in there and then just let me see what's his overall rank. Oh wow, overall rank of 11k. That's impressive, man. You never know. You might probably, I don't know if 11k is too much to win it, but yeah, I don't think so. But yeah. So congrats on the top 5. That is that. Moving on to the fan corner. I think I'll probably start, and then I think we can talk about our teams.
You have the big things to talk about.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We talk about three major things: Man U, Liverpool, and then we talk about the Club World Cup, which is coming up next month, which you just reminded me about, and I didn't even know about it. Man U, we play a final tomorrow. against Tottenham. So it's basically like an all English final, which is kind of interesting because we lost to them 3 times during the season. This cannot be
Yeah.
the fourth time, like I said last week. It's just going to be too bad. And we both of us have had a very like exceptionally poor season. Basically, even for both our standards, it's been poor. So this
Mhm.
might be just the saving grace of our season. For us, I can speak as a Man U fan. I'm saying for most Man U fans, it's okay to to have to win a cup basically, but that was not our intention. We wanted to challenge or at least finish top four and then qualify for the Champions League, by finishing top, But that just didn't happen. We finished like bottom, barely even scraped past relegation. We haven't even hit 40 points yet. So that just tells you how
And
bad how bad it is.
I don't think you will hit 40 points this season, to be honest.
I don't think we'll hit 40 points, but you never know. Because basically all our focus is the league. Seems like even the players themselves, they don't mentally, they've kind of checked out of the league and they're all focused
Mhm.
on where they feel like they can actually get a reward for it. So yeah.
Mhm.
I hope we win because even without the cup, I'm thinking is basically, hinges on us, let's say, getting the money from the Champions League and being able to spend it. That's the thing. So yeah.
Yeah, and being in the Champions League as well is huge. Not just the monetary wise. I think also for signing player wise or like making signings, I think the Champions League is quite important. Yeah, I think that is, to be honest, that is top four is important, but I think qualifying for the Champions League is more important, right? So if you qualify for the Champions League as a club, well, for me personally, that's how I say it. No matter the route I go through, I just want to qualify for the Champions League. I can remember the first season that club came into Liverpool. We were in the same position, like we were eight in the league or something, and then we went to the Europa League final. That's first season. We were having a terrible season because that was just when Rogers left, and we were having a terrible season. Club came in and tried to save the season, but he could not save the league, even though we were
Mm.
getting results, but he could not get the consistency. And then
Mhm.
he had a very good run in the Europa League. We went all the way to the finals,
Oh,
and then we played
did
against
you?
Sevilla. That's it. Yeah. No, we did
Oh,
not win.
Civil. Oh, you didn't win. Okay. Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
lost that. We lost that final against Seville. But to be honest, like if I'm reflecting during that
It's,
time,
it's
all I
kind
was
of
thinking
similar,
was
right? It's kind of
like, yeah, it's
similar.
kind of similar. I was only thinking, let's get this Champions League because if we get the Champions League, we can attract player here, they can
That's the
attack
that's
this
the
player.
thing. Thank you
But
very much. That's
all those
that's
kind of things
exactly
you have to come.
that's exactly
Yeah,
why, like me as a fan, that's what I'm thinking. Because obviously, big players that you want to attract to your club, even though Man U, we kind of get players without even being in the Champions League. Like sometimes I'm
of
surprised
course.
how we can even attract these players. But there's a another level of players you can attract if you are in the Champions League.
Exactly.
You
We
know,
face this problem,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
talked about it last time. What was
Hmm.
it? Bellingham. The reason why
Oh
we
yeah,
did
yeah,
not get
yeah, yeah,
Bellingham,
yeah, yeah. You
I
told me, yeah.
believe was because Liverpool did not offer Champions League, and then
Hmm.
he's that player who will make the
He
next
wants to
move is about
compete in the
Champions League.
best, yeah, in the best
Exactly.
competitions in the
He
world.
was one
Yeah.
of the best players in the world. So that's why I think we missed out on him. So yeah, it's really important if you want to get your main targets. Of course, you can attract some players coming through, but there is some level of players. If you want to attract them, you have to be in the Champions League. They are there.
Yep, yep. So far, apparently the talks going on, and I think this probably might be true. Is Cunha from Wolves? Like, it's a done
Yeah.
deal. Kind of like
It's almost
not
done,
done
yeah.
deal per se, but it's almost very close,
It's very
according to
close. Yeah.
Fabrizio. So that's one. But he said that he didn't really care, like if we are in the Champions League or not, which
Mhm.
is good. But if you want to
No,
attract somebody
I
like
don't
a,
think I don't think he's at that level. He's a very good player,
but
but
he's not
players
the
like
Champions
him,
League level yet. Yeah,
yeah,
you can say, yeah,
exactly. He has
maybe.
not even played in the Champions League. So
Yeah,
just
that's
looking
true.
like
It
from
wouldn't
Wolves,
it wouldn't it wouldn't it
it's a
wouldn't
step
really
up.
appeal to him as much. Yeah, definitely. That's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Yeah, but somebody like a Gyökeres, like from Porto,
Yeah,
who's played there
that
before,
one.
who
Yeah, that one will be
he's
difficult.
like he's actually the highest goal scorer in Europe, I think, or in the Champions League. I'm not really
Mm,
sure, something like that. But he has a record right now.
yeah.
And then the thing is going to be he wants to, because he's at that age where he's at his peak, and he will want to play in the Champions League next season.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
and our coach, who was his former coach, wants him to come. But obviously, somebody's going to look out for their own interest. They want to play in the Champions League because they have a few years left in the top of their game. and it will be unfair for our coach to demand that he comes, even though we don't have Champions League. So there's a lot of things riding on this
on this panel.
on tomorrow. Yeah. Plus PSR, we are in serious problems with the spending, how we spend, because we don't really sell a lot of players. If we have that money, we don't have to worry about it, or we don't have to worry as much about it, in my opinion. You can actually balance the books well and sign players and stuff like that. But yeah, man, for me that's about it, because we've won it before. We've won Europa before. It was nice when we won it, but then for me, it's basically, if we win, this is going to open a lot of doors for us, so that we can actually develop this team, get the players who we need to get to actually move on to the next stage. Because I feel like he's a good coach. Our coach is a good coach. He just needs to be backed in the transfer window, definitely. So yeah.
The Europa will be interesting, to be honest. Spurs. But one thing I will say though, like I told you last week, I think you should be up for it as fan, because it's important. It's huge. But again, it seems this year has been a year for underdogs.
But we are the underdogs in this scenario. We are the underdogs.
No, you are not. To be
yes,
honest.
we are. We are the underdogs. That's what you need to understand. We are.
No, underdogs in the sense that you are not at the best of your abilities. I think, like compare with Spurs right now. They have beat you guys 3 times or something like that. So from in that context, in that context, you are the underdogs. But looking at the stature of the clubs, like Manchester United playing against Spurs. Spurs have not won anything for their own life.
Like didn't they win something in 2008? They won a cup in 2008.
I think League Cup. That was the last time they won something. Harry Kane has been there all his life. He cannot win anything. He does everything for Tottenham. He cannot even win a trophy. And that kind of carried up to Bayern. He went to Bayern 4 seasons. He cannot win anything. Tottenham, yeah. So in that context of winning things, I think Tottenham are the underdogs. In that context, I think you will agree. In the context of winning the trophy, Tottenham are the underdogs. But in the context of the state of the clubs, Tottenham side, I'm sure that if you give them the favorite stack, they will not accept it, because they know how bad their team has been. Just like you are rejecting the favorite stack, right? They will not accept it. So be mindful. Be mindful.
I mean, to be honest, if I was a Tottenham fan, I'll feel more confident. You know what I mean? Because I've beaten them 3 times. I mean, it's psychology, man. The sports is a lot of psychology. One thing I can say though, for most Man U fans, is when it comes to final, like we have those players that have been there before, that have that mindset that this is a do or die. You know what I mean? That is what I actually admire about this current team. And if I have any hope that we can win this, it's because we have those players.
You have the Brunos, we have the
Brunos, we have the Casemiros, who are very important. Like, honestly, he's had a resurgence in this Europa League. And if you look at the way we came into this final, man, like all the games against Lyon, you're almost out, and then remontada, all of a sudden you score like 3 goals in I don't know how many minutes. So all these things, they matter. I just hope that all these things doesn't account for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and then because nobody's going to remember them, because you didn't win the league, you didn't win the cup anyway. So what was the point?
Again, that's exactly how I felt when we lost to Seville, because I can remember we had a huge remontada that season. That was the first kind of remontada on the club. That was when we played against Dortmund. I don't know if you can remember that game. Liverpool were losing. Aubameyang and those like Marco Reus, they were at Dortmund. I think Lovren scored a last-minute winner to make the game 4-3 or something for Liverpool. In the 90th minute of play, Liverpool were losing, I think, around 90-something, 3-2. And then they came back at Anfield. It was Anfield erupted that day. So that was the first one. And then you have that feeling that
something
will happen.
Brewing.
Something is coming. Something is coming, right?
Oh man, you're making me scared now. So.
No, I'm just telling you to be careful. It's gonna be a dangerous fight.
Yeah, man. It took by tomorrow, by this time, like there'll be 2 versions of me. One that's happy and one that's probably like sad. So they might be. So we'll see.
I was talking to another United fan actually. And then he was telling me about the weekend game. I tell him the weekend game, like no matter what, you guys cannot turn up. The weekend game against Aston Villa, they're gonna win.
Yeah, it's either we are celebrating.
Too happy.
We are probably.
Yeah, too. Like it's 2 levels, right?
Yeah, either too sad or too happy. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So you cannot turn up. The players cannot turn up for that.
That's true. But either ways, if we win, for me there are 2 scenarios. If we win, right, and we'll feel like at least the season wasn't a total disaster.
Yeah.
At least we came up with something. That's one thing. And there's, going into the Champions League, even though I feel like we wouldn't go far based on the team that we have, even if we buy like really good players, we still need time to develop and be at that level where we can really compete for the Champions League.
Yeah.
But it's a cup, you never know. But I feel like we wouldn't really compete as much. If we lose, God forbid, what's going to happen is we're going to actually have to reflect on what happened in this season, like really take note, and everybody's going to be somber and say, hey, what do we need to do better next season? And hopefully that will really challenge the players, the ones that are going to stay, and say, hey, next season we need to take each and every game, it doesn't matter which cup, seriously, and like to lock in. You know what I mean? To really have like a focus for next season. So yeah, I mean, either way, we need to do better. This season wasn't good enough. Even with a cup, it just wasn't good enough. And
Right.
everybody can do better.
Okay.
Yeah. Liverpool. That's enough. That's enough supporting my club.
No, I will watch the final 100%. I will wake up for that final. I cannot miss it.
You can miss.
But anyway, Liverpool. We lost against Brighton this weekend. The boys were in Dubai, I think, in midweek, and then come to play a game against Brighton. They will never turn up for that game, and but I think the match was like if you miss the game, you miss a very like entertaining football match, because both teams we are going for it. Liverpool we are going for it despite the players they had. We are going for it. Brighton we are going for it as well. Alisson was making a lot of saves here and there, so it was an interesting one. Seeing my boy.
I think Brighton. Whenever Liverpool or any of these big clubs play Brighton, it's never a dull game, right?
Yeah, it's
seems like
entertaining.
they always up for like the top six for some reason.
Yeah.
They're always challenging, man. Brighton is a tough team to play. Go ahead. It's always.
Yeah. Our boy Salah. Yeah, he had some good chances though, but he could not gonna get on the score sheet. Yeah. So now we're just waiting for the final game. I feel next week we play Crystal Palace. I don't know that game is how it's gonna be. Crystal Palace are already in the beach, like you said. They not even play.
But they won today, though. They won today against Wolves.
They won, but
I mean,
they don't care too much again.
Yeah.
You can win. You can play and not care and still win. It can happen sometimes. So, but I'm sure if they needed that game like desperately, you would have seen a different Crystal Palace or different team.
Even Wolves are on the beach in a way, because they were about to be relegated. And then they fired their coach, got a new coach, and then they stayed up. So they're okay. They're good right now.
Both teams were on the beach, exactly. Yeah. So at least somebody has to win or they draw the game. And that was the case. So let's see how it goes with Crystal Palace in the final game. We will love to win that game, man, to be honest. And also,
is it home?
It's at Anfield, yeah. That will be the final game.
Oh, yeah, you guys have to win
and we have to take the title on that day.
Yeah, so you can't lose. You can't lose in the day when they're going to hand you the title.
I expect the coach to play the best team he has on that day.
The strongest, and then guys, you need to turn up for this. Let's turn up for this. Win on a high, lift the cup, and then celebrate. That's the way to end the season, man. Honestly.
Yeah, and your boy is still chasing the records, right? I was watching his interview with Gary Neville last time. Yeah, he was fuming at his teammates for not turning up. So he feels the players are not turning up after winning the title. So, but he's confident.
You can't blame him.
But he's confident he will break the record, though. He said he will break the record.
How many assists does he need? Like two?
No, he just need a couple of returns, a goal and an assist to have the record of highest number of goal involvement in the season. But to get that record of 30 plus goal, 30 plus assists, he need 2 goals, 2 assists. That will not happen. I don't see that happening again. And to break
if the team really wants it to happen, it will happen.
Yeah, well, but the other team too we will play. It's not just about us playing. The other team too.
No, but I mean, if they really, I'm sure they will play. But you guys, if you are motivated, like I said, if you really want to win, because this is the last game of the season and you guys are lifting the cup, unless somebody else comes and just takes his assist or his goal, but you guys can turn up definitely. So it's not even an issue. It's not like the team you're going to play are going to need the result and they're going to camp in their half and defend the whole game. You can do that. Yeah, so it's possible.
It is possible. But they are a difficult team. I think they will still be a difficult team to play against. They always cause problem for the bigger teams. And I think last season they won against us in Anfield, right?
Crystal Palace?
Yeah, they beat us in Anfield.
Man, the Crystal Palace, they won. They're chilling. They're going to Europe next season. I mean,
they're going to Europe,
you said, they're on the beach. They're on the beach. They just playing for vibes. They just played vibes football.
Okay. Let's wait and see that.
He play
Yeah,
fast
but in the
football.
transfer front, I think the big one we have been talking this week was this guy. What's his name? Florian Wirtz. But I don't see that one happening. I like it's likely to stay in Germany with Bayern. But Liverpool are just putting themselves there in the picture in case he wanna
They
go outside of
take a
Germany.
gamble, yeah, because Man
Yeah,
City, I think
Liverpool.
Man City tried to sign him, but they said that his demands were too much.
Yeah, so
Maybe I
he
think
thought,
maybe he rejected them. So you never know. Maybe
yeah, it could be that
yeah,
he rejected them, or Manchester City know that
possible,
he's going to Bayern. If they know
possibly.
he's more interested
They
in
will just
Bayern,
save
and
face and say, yeah, they don't want him
then
anymore.
yeah,
He's too high. Blah blah blah. Save
yeah.
face.
But we are still in for another left back too. Carcass is been mentioned a lot, so
Bournemouth, yeah,
I think
you guys, if you're gonna be lucky to get that guy, because he's tailor made for a system. He's also a Man U fan.
uh-huh.
Yeah, he's a Man U fan. Yeah.
He's a good player. He's a good player, and with a lot of speed. So having him
Oh
and
yeah,
Frimpong,
he's
I
a
think it's
machine,
gonna be
bro.
good.
He's a machine. I really like. I really like. One more that kind of, if they let him go, they're gonna need some reinforcements because Hoyson is already going to Real
To
Madrid,
Real
who's one of
Madrid.
their best defenders. One
Mm,
season in the Bournemouth and then next thing move to a top club. Like if
yeah.
Kekes also goes, but yeah, Bournemouth have been a really good team. I think people are going to be shopping in in Bournemouth for for a few,
Yeah.
especially this transfer window. Let's see how it goes. So you guys already signed one player. You're looking for another player, and then Vert. So already three, and
Yeah.
and this season hasn't even ended yet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys are
We make our moves early,
moving
right?
mad right now. Yeah, that's the best way.
Definitely.
I feel like if you want to give a coach a chance,
Uh-huh.
you sign early. As soon as the season is over, you get those signings, you finalize, and then those players will go for holiday, whatever, and then come back, and then they start early preseason, so you can
Mhm.
incorporate them into the team,
Yeah.
early and let them get there, understand how the team is, whatever, get situated, and then get settled in. And then when you start first game week of the season, you have your full team. You don't want to be, your players playing, and then players are coming in to join in the beginning of the season. It's just too much. I think that's what we are going for this season. Or definitely, it's off season. Maybe try to get the players in that we need to sign, finalize everything, and then let the coach have enough time with the players, the new players, to bet them in properly. And practice all those tactics if you can. In preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for fan corner. Pretty long one, but yeah. Things are happening for both our teams. So one of us already has a cup. So let's see if the other one can. If not, maybe next year.
I mean, I'm already season is over
it's,
already.
it's fine. It's fine. If not next year, at least we're in
That's
the
what I
final.
told them.
That's
I,
good.
I only watch the Liverpool games now to see the Guard of Honor, and then I'm done. I don't even know who scores. To be
They
honest,
got
I'm not watching.
they got him. Yeah. Um. Last segment. Game week 38 preview.
Let's talk
How's our
about the World
team
Cup first
looking like?
before we skip
Oh
there.
yeah, we forgot to talk about
The
that.
World
So,
Cup,
yeah, thanks for reminding me. I was about to
the
move on, but
FIFA
yeah,
Club World Cup.
Club World Cup. So
Uh,
what? Tell us about it, please.
yeah, it's causing a lot of headlines, a lot of politics going on. I heard your guy Cristiano Ronaldo is also working on to be part of the tournament.
How?
Which will be good. Will be good for the tournament. I think he could go on loan to a Brazilian club. I don't know which Brazilian club is that, and then so that he can
Really?
play in this club World Cup. Messi has been Inter Miami has been they found a way to put them in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
They found a way to get them,
I don't think
get
they're
them in
gonna
the
do that. They're not gonna win any game, bro. That team is not too good
yeah, just to
at
get
all.
Messi there, of course, and it's in the US.
Yeah,
Messi in
it's
the
part of,
US
part of the
playing against
marketing. I'm sure it's gonna be. Yeah, it's
it's
gonna
part of
look
the
nice.
marketing. So
Yeah,
that was the
yeah.
thing. But the cup he won was not even the one that was supposed to take him to the Club World Cup. The trophy he won with
Obvious,
the Miami. So
obviously.
yeah, so they have just sneaked him into this, and now Cristiano Ronaldo is trying to find his way into it. I had because the season in Saudi will finish, and there are clubs that he can join, maybe on
On
loan,
a
and then
loan or
play
something like that. Yeah, that's
on a
possible.
loan basis and play. But yeah,
Apparently, I
it's
think his deal might be ending. I'm hearing talks that he might be going back to Sporting to finish his career there. I don't know how
oh
true that
really?
is. Yeah,
Oh, I
he
don't
wants
know.
to go back to Sporting, and finally that's where
Oh
he started playing his football. So he might probably end there. Call his
yeah,
call his
nice.
career. Yeah, that's a nice thing. But yeah, go on about
the World Cup. I think it starts June 15 and ends July, around the middle of July. We are already also in the talk because of Trent wanted to go. Real Madrid wanted to have all their key players, like he did with Hoyson. They signed him early so that they can get him in for this Club World Cup. So it's gonna be a very interesting time because there's gonna be competed. It's gonna be competed by 32 teams across the world. It's gonna take a World Cup kind of format where you have 8 groups of 4, and then top 2 qualify, and then they play in the second round, quarterfinal, semi-final.
How
final.
did Chelsea make it into this club?
In Europe, I think the year that Chelsea won the Champions League, up to this year, the teams that are winning the teams that are that won the Champions League, I think this year is not even included. I think, but the teams that won the Champions League from the year that Chelsea win it, that was in 2021, up to this, because Inter is there and PSG is there, so it means
finalists. Inter didn't win it; they went to the final with Man City.
They are in the finals, so maybe the finalists. The format is difficult to understand, but also it's a bit odd. But also, you see, teams like Dortmund have not won the Champions League, but they are in the competition. So there is a different route to get into this competition. Let's say it like that. But the 32 teams are going to compete, and those 32 teams.
When they are fixed now, the teams are fixed now. The teams that are going are fixed.
The teams are fixed. The teams are fixed. Okay. 32 teams that are going are fixed. Africa, there are some teams coming from Africa. There are teams coming from Europe. There are teams coming from
interesting, man. It'll be really interesting.
Asia. It will be interesting. It will be interesting, definitely.
I'll be watching.
Yeah. Especially it's close to you, so you can have the right timing and all those things. I'm sure the TV stations there will broadcast it. But now, 1 billion, like you mentioned to me, 1 billion is there for the taking. For the 32 teams, of course, different levels. If you are in the group stages, you have different pots to share, and then if you get to the final, you have a team can bank more than 100 million in this tournament. More than 100 million going, like if you are going all the way to the finals, one team can bank that, which will be huge, like you said about the
transfer. The PSR, that's massive.
Especially teams like
of cash,
teams like Chelsea, even Manchester City. Those teams sometimes they have this financial problem. Chelsea, of course, they find their way always to deal with this financial.
But this time around, if they don't qualify for Champions, this is their only saving grace, basically, the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Because if they don't finish in Champions League spot, there it's gonna be peak for them.
And it's gonna be really difficult, like we say. Not now for us. If they win, Chelsea will unlikely be in the top 5.
They probably be back in their.
So they have to win. They have to win against Forest, or even draw might not be enough for them against Forest because of the teams below them can win and then go ahead of them. So it's a tough one, but let's see how it goes. Now the impact of this tournament. What do you think about this? The impact of this tournament.
That is the problem. That's the problem. Teams that are going to be participating means that the players that they have right now, even though they are tired, they're going to be more exhausted because it's a whole tournament. It's like a World Cup year, basically.
Like
a World Cup year. Yeah, and we know what happens in World Cup years. Most likely, the players that they return back from holiday later and they join the preseason later, and their fitness in the beginning of the season, probably to the middle of the season, is not as it is because they're tired, and by the time they recover, all the players that are in preseason are already fit and firing, and you have to come back slowly integrate. I mean, imagine World Cup was different because you have 1 or 2 players from different countries, but this time around it's a whole team.
It's a whole
team.
There
might be a big disadvantage to these teams, but when they go back to their respective what do you call it again?
Seasons
or championship, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, man. It's the first of its kind, and it's a big risk. But if players that have teams that have big squads like the Chelsea, maybe they can survive. You never know. But I think that is going to affect their preseason tour. Basically, or maybe what they do is they just use that as a tour because it's
as the
preseason.
But you have to take a break at the end because the period the season finish is we are talking about 30. Next week is gonna be
end of the month, basically. Yeah.
And 2 weeks from that, the tournament is kicking off, and you cannot wait until the tournament kicks off.
There's no rest. So you're gonna be preparing to play the tournament.
maybe they give you a 2 days or 3 days rest, and then you come back and then start preparing for this tournament. So, like you say, I think the impact is gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge for clubs. There's a lot of moving parts. You look at Manchester City; they are losing some important players as well, like Kevin De Bruyne.
And they have to get new players in.
They have to get new players in. The whole squad is going in, and Chelsea likewise. If they don't qualify for the Champions League, and yes, you can get some money from this competition, to be honest, and it will cover a lot. But the impact that it could have next season could be massive. Do you think that will have an impact on the title race next season? Which
I think so. I think so. I think it will. I think it will have a massive impact in that, because the teams that are going to Man City right now, they need, like, Pep needs a good solid preseason where he can see new players in. Beds them in, try to find a system how we can, like, let's say, revamp. Rodri is coming back basically, so that's good for them.
Rodri played yesterday, right?
He played. Yeah, he played. Yeah, he did play. But then I don't expect him to come back to those levels before he was in before, because it's ACL. It's going to take like probably a year or so for you to get back to those levels, and he's not getting any younger. So you can't. How are you going to sign players and then you are already playing in a tournament, and then you have like 1 or 2 weeks before the season starts or something like that, or you have a short window before the players need to go on holiday, because remember the players still need to go on holiday. So a whole squad is going to go on vacation and then come back, and then the season starts. I don't know how it's going to work. It's going to be difficult. And players that have the off, that actually went on serious vacation, coming back fresh, have their preseason, get ready for the league start, like when it's supposed to start. Those players are going to be probably take at least a month or 2 or 3 months, not even 2 or 3 months, probably weeks and months for them. They're going to be ahead of you when it comes to performance. That's without a doubt. And this is not 1 or 2 players in your team; it's a whole team.
Squad. It's the squad.
I don't know how it's going to work. It's going to be interesting, but I think those teams are going to suffer. In my opinion, I think they're going to fall off in the beginning. They're going to be left behind, like way behind.
Yeah, and teams like Manchester City, teams like Chelsea, they will go for it because they know the money. It's important.
The money's there. I mean, they
have to go for it. So you will expect them at least to get to the
play full strength. Yeah, to play full strength. Full strength teams.
At least knockout stages like the quarterfinals or something like that. And at that time it will be around end of June. So it's a strange one.
Unless they have a strategy. If I was in a group, if it's a group stage, and I feel like in a group stage, the teams that are around me in my group are not as tough, I'll probably play my second team. Like Chelsea can do that because they played their third string team in this conference league, and while the other two teams, like 2 squads, I mean starting 11, they rested, and then eventually as the competition gets tougher, you can start bringing in your,
but still they have to be with the squad, right? Training and doing.
Still it's the same intensity. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Well, we'll see.
But the mental rest is the problem.
They need their vacation. Players after, because it's a whole season.
Well, we are here. We are here talking about. We cannot even go with this podcast again. So,
I'm telling you,
any sports.
Yeah, right? We need a break. So imagine the players that are playing in every week in, week out, multiple games a week.
With the pressure coming from fans, all those things, noise, media, everything.
I mean, it's sometimes I feel like us the fans are I don't know whether it's us the fans that are demanding too much entertainment, or maybe it's the corporations themselves, the teams themselves that actually want too much profit. But who's suffering? I feel like even though they get paid a lot, I think it's the football players. Like there are too many games. There's never been this many games in football, basically.
It's crazy.
So it's crazy. Imagine having again to play like a Euros or an Africa Cup of Nations next year.
There's an AFCON too in January, because you have players like the Marmus, all those players.
So how are you going to do it? So there's no off. There's no time off.
There is no time to rest.
This is wild, man.
But to be honest, I think it's good for those who are also competing for the league. From a selfish point of view, I think
it is.
Liverpool, it's good to see these two teams going in after a season because Liverpool are already in preseason. Players like McAllister, they are not going to play again. The coach has said that he's not going to play again. He's going to be rested. Yeah, he has played too much football since the last World Cup, and then they played in the Copa America last time. So he's not injured, but his body has done too much over the past few a few seasons. So he's gonna be rested and not play again. And you can see last week how he rested his players, players like Van Dijk, they were not even in the team. Of course, the final game will be a different game. I think the key players will come in, but I think this is good for teams like Arsenal and Liverpool. I think seeing Chelsea and
You
Manchester
guys are
City.
going to be first and second again, and then Man City are going to be
Yeah.
probably even further behind
Well,
than they are this
I
season.
don't say
You
we
know.
will be, but at least it gives us an advantage, it gives us an edge. In terms of rest, we will have over the start of the season. We will be we will have a
Fresh.
better season than these teams, which plays a huge impact. To be honest.
I mean, as a fan, I'm not opposed to it. I want to watch football, so there's football to watch. But I feel for these teams, man. Like there's always a price to pay, and this might be the price to pay. If
Yeah, yeah.
going back and
It's
but yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Oh, it's good to be informed about this. I didn't even know when it was happening, what was the format and anything, but it's good that you shared that. So going to preview, Gaming 38 preview. Seems like we have a few injuries, so let me just go through what the last game week of the season looks like, basically. Yeah, so this is the fixture list for the final game week 38 of this season. This has been a long season, man. I'm so happy that it's ending.
We are tired. It's been a long season.
No, it's not even that. Man U, man. My team has just been so poor. It's like we need a break. Bournemouth, Leicester, Fulham, Man City, Ipswich, West Ham, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Man U, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Everton, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Southampton, Arsenal, Spurs, Brighton, Wolves, Brentford. So looking at this fixture, the first thing that jumps to me is Southampton, Arsenal. So it is going to be interesting. And yeah, what other fixtures do you think at least we should try and get players in from there? And this might be our last chance to get a good score this game week, basically.
We always said about our game too. I think this is a time to challenge to try to get because I think we will turn up for the final game of the season. We will
I think so too. Yeah.
I think we will turn up, and I think we will see goals in that game. It will be an open game, similar to the Brighton game. I feel, like you said, Crystal Palace will come and enjoy themselves as well. So it will be an open game. There will be goals there. So if you could predict where the goals are going to come from Liverpool, I'm sure Salah is the one that everybody will have, definitely. But if you can predict somewhere else who can be part of the goals, maybe a Diaz or something, and then maybe because he did not even start the last game as well, so I would expect him to come back into the team for this final game. I expect him and Gakpo to start. So there is something to get there in that game. There is something to play for. Other than that, Aston Villa, because I expect them to win United. Personally, I expect them. So it's important to get Aston Villa players. I don't know how they're gonna deal with it, though.
What's funny? If we didn't play a final, I would say they're gonna lose this game. But like you said earlier, either ways, we'll either be sad or be happy.
Yeah, you gotta thought of you gotta be either enjoying yourself or too sad that you don't even want to see your team play again, and the players don't even want to see the ball again.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the same time, too, how are Aston Villa gonna react to the pressure of you have to qualify for the Champions League?
You have to win, you have to win at all costs.
You have to win to qualify for the Champions League. You have to take the initiative.
That's a lot of pressure, yeah.
Because that pressure, Nottingham Forest is a team that have shown they cannot deal with it. But Aston Villa, with all due credit to them, they have been in the Champions League. Last season, they went on a run in the Champions League all the way to the quarterfinals, which means, they have been through the process of qualifying for the Champions League as well.
They've tested it, yeah.
Yeah, they have tested it. They have qualified. Right. So, I don't know. I don't know how that game is going to turn out. But Newcastle, Everton...
It'll be interesting, yeah. Newcastle need a win too, right? They do need to win. But I think they can. This is at Newcastle's ground, so they can.
They are very good at home. They are very good at home. But Isaac, how do they do it? Isaac has been so important.
He's been scoring goals, and then the way they play too, they need him. They need him. But they can find a way to win. It's just one game, so important game.
So it's difficult to say. I think for me, the team that I should be getting 3 players should be Liverpool this week because I feel they will turn up. And like you say, Arsenal, they might rest their players. They don't have anything to play for.
They don't have anything to play for, honestly. People are going for Saka, but I don't. I think there's going to be, they probably even play their second team. You know, they don't need
And,
this game.
exactly. And added to the fact that it's not a home game, it's an away game where
Away game, yeah,
they
yeah.
don't have to impress their fans and
That's
then have
true. That's true. You're right. You're right.
because they already did that last week. So I don't know if it's a team that
It's a place to go. Yeah, thinking about it again like that, you make a good point. I think if it was close, where they have to win this game to really qualify, solidify their position in the league for Champions League, then they will play the big guns. But now they don't need to, because
they don't need.
regardless, they're going to finish second anyway. So.
But also, don't forget, their fans too are very demanding. They are very angry right now. So, if
I mean, what can they do? It doesn't matter. You're still going to finish second. You cannot win the league. So what do you want to do? It's out of their hands. It's out of their hands. So you might as well just give a few new players, you know, some time on the pitch. Some of their players like the and one area, and you know, just give them some time to play, and yeah.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean. So yeah, that's Spurs. Brighton to me, like you said, Spurs might be drunk. The same as us, same boat,
same feeling, right?
Really extremely sad or extremely happy. So the Brighton might actually have a field day with them. This game. So yeah, I feel like it's pretty close. So I mean, if you want to get points, just try and like just take a gamble and see which game you feel like it's
like you did last week with Cucurella, right?
Just take a gamble, man. Like that's what I feel. Nobody knows. The goals are going to be coming in thick and fast. You can't really catch up. We'll only ever know until like hours and hours after the games have ended. So
yeah, that's right.
Because all the games are at the same time anyway. So it's always a madness. All the games coming in at the same time. Sometimes even goals coming at the same time. So yeah. Looking at my team, this is my draft team. I haven't done any changes to this, honestly. Martinez in goal. Saliba, who is going to be out? He's probably injured. I don't expect him to play. So Cucurella might even come back in. I don't have to change him, even though I know it's a tough game against Nottingham Forest, but they have to win this game. They stand a chance of qualifying.
At least they have to play for. So he will play. Definitely.
Yeah, so he comes in. Let me just switch him right now. Variol, Livramento. My Crystal Palace assets, I don't think they're going to play this game. Maybe Eze. If I'm going to play anybody, I'll probably play Eze. Rogers is going to stay. Salah obviously is going to stay. Murphy is going to stay. Momo's going to stay. I don't see any changes. Isak, probably the only one that I feel like is going to probably drop out since he's injured. I expect him to play. So, yeah. So, Wood and then Watkins. Captaincy is going to be Salah. I don't see any other worthy captain option. Maybe Momo, but Salah. He's playing at home and he's the one that's playing the final day. He needs those stats, you know. So yeah. This is my team, my boss team. If I'm going to make a change, it's going to be probably get an Isak, somebody else, and see who I can replace in starting 11. I don't think I can make any different change from this team. Just keep it as it is and move on. No, I'm definitely not taking that -4.
Yeah.
No need. Just see how it plays. If you want to take a gamble, you can. You know, especially if you're chasing in your mini leagues, you know, you wanna do something different. Yeah, you can. What about your team?
Yeah, let me just read it up. I've not done anything yet. I still have a couple of transfers to do, so I will make a couple of transfers definitely. But in goal, I start with Pope over Fleckan, and then defense Bradley will start. Then you have Guardiola. For now, it's Munoz, so probably I might upgrade that one with the transfers that I have. Trippier is injured, so I might just sell Trippier and use that money to upgrade somewhere. In midfield, my boys, they are minty. I did it. This is the final game.
Season.
I got it all. This. So he will start for the final game week. And then we have Bemo, De Bruyne for his final game for City. I think he will be playing.
That would be nice to have. It would be nice to have De Bruyne, you know, for one last time. Yeah. You know, because we're gonna have him. If he stays. Yes, but if not, this might be one of the last times we have De Bruyne in actively in our 11. You know,
no, definitely, he's my favorite
legend, man. He's a legend.
Him and Son are my favorite rivals. I would say I like what they do as footballers, to be honest. I would have loved to have them. I would still love to have De Bruyne at Liverpool, even at his age. I'm sure players like even Salah said it last time. He said,
Yeah, I saw his post there.
Tell him we have a place for him in our team." When he was talking to Gary Neville. Yeah, definitely. If I was Salah and what is his name? Van Dijk, I'll be pushing the club to give him a 2-year contract and then tell him, okay.
Not even 2, yeah, even 1-year contract. Yeah, like just because I think he wants to stay in England. He feels like he can still play at the top level. I just give him a chance.
Exactly, because Salah and Van Dijk, it's gonna be maybe their final few years in the club. So at least they will feel like we have the ability to win something. So why not? If you have a player that could, finish
contribute,
with us,
especially there,
almost the same period with us,
and then
like KDB for free, pay him his salaries and stuff like that, and then get it for 2 years, and then we will give you a trophy here and there, but the club will not think like that.
Do you think he will come to Liverpool though?
Why not? I know he is very connected to, but he's a he was a Liverpool fan. He grew up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
You can even see an interview of him talking about, I want to play for Liverpool. Michael Owen was my hero and stuff like that. I saw those interviews, but that was when he was young, and then he went to City. He has this connection with the club, but he is not ruling out staying in England. That is the thing.
Yeah, I heard that he wants to stay.
He did not want to leave. Yeah. He did not want to leave, but Manchester City did not want to give him the contract.
Give him a contract,
at his worth right now. So now it's the club that made the decision. I watch his farewell time with City. I'm sure he's connected with the club, and the club will always love him, to be honest. But
they're gonna have statues of him. But if he goes to Liverpool, I don't think they will. I think if I were him, to be honest, to cement my legacy in City, I will just leave.
That is the thing. There is no. I know it's an unfair comment for me to make about legacy. But City is not a club that people really care about making legacy with. I think, like, no disrespect to them, but because it's a club. It's not a tribal club. It is not a tribal club. It is like we all agree. If you look at Manchester United, they are very rich. They have money, but Manchester United is a tribal club. Liverpool is a tribal club. It's about
I think it's like about the history, how deep that history goes. Yeah.
Exactly. Manchester City is not that. Manchester is a financial club. It's the money that's why Manchester City they are what they are.
That's true.
Like it's difficult for a player to say I cement my Lampard when he was leaving Chelsea to go to Manchester City. Like which player will do that for Manchester United and Liverpool or something like that? You see what I'm talking about. Arsenal is a tribal club as well. These clubs, you will barely see a player, going from Manchester United to Arsenal or something like that. I'm thinking about, but Manchester City, no, I don't see why.
Their fans wouldn't. You think their fans wouldn't care like that?
It's very disrespectful to say that about their fans, but that is the reality about their club. You talk about Manchester City, the next thing you talk about is money. You talk about Manchester United, you talk about Arsenal, you talk about Liverpool. The next thing you have to talk about is not going to be about money, right? It's going to be about like the
history, the rich history of the club, the heritage. Yeah, that's true.
That's what they don't have. To be honest, that is the thing, right? It's sad, but that is the reality. So that's why I think he will be okay. Like I was watching him,
at least for one season.
He wasn't even crying for his fair. I know he has the connection, and then he respects them. They give him everything, and he gave them everything. But like he's not like I'm a City guy, I'm a City boy. This is my home, this is my desk. I don't feel that players.
It's like he did a job. He's been at a job for a long time, and now he's leaving.
Exactly. He was just exceptional for them, and then give them everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but you never know. Maybe he has that feeling, that remorse for them.
It's possible. It's possible.
Play for another club in England. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's my team. This I wrap up.
I guess that's it. That's the final. I don't think there's much to really change or try to tweak. Or I will have to get this guy because it's at the stage where the fixture is difficult. Some teams are on the beach. Some there's nobody else who's exceptionally like on form right now that you need to get into your team. So you never know. The chips may fall where they fall, but yeah, this is our team. And maybe if you feel inspired, you might just make a few changes, last minute changes, and try to get some differential points. But yeah, that is it. Exactly. So guys, this is the last episode for this season. We'll probably do another one, like you said, like a short one to announce the winner of the mini league, and then just probably even review the GW38. That would be nice. and see,
Exactly,
even
exactly.
review how the season went, and how the best players and all these things. We always do that anyway. So that will be my
Hopefully
last.
Hopefully United win in that in that
Fingers crossed. Fingers
because if
crossed.
United don't win,
Let's win it,
if
man.
United
I'll be
don't
so
win,
happy.
it will be it will be
I'll be
difficult
so
to do
happy.
that.
Or else it's gonna be very depressing. It's gonna be depressing. I'll probably even push it all the way, and then you have to do it alone. so, so, but to be honest, I don't think I will be as depressed. It's a Europa League. We've lost one before. If it was a Champions League,
but the
okay,
impact,
that will be, yeah, the impact.
remember,
Yeah, I
for
know, but
example, you have
this
fought
season
and
I
then
wasn't
you go to
I wasn't expecting anything this season because of how
uh,
bad we have been. So I've never really expected it. This is for me. It's like, oh, this is nice to be in a final. It's really nice. Being really bad and then you actually end up with a cup. I mean, But if we don't do, it's terrible. But
yeah.
still, I'm looking forward to next season. I've been looking forward for next season for a long time now, honestly. But yeah, I would love us to win. I pray I pray everything goes well. With us, and
Yeah.
the players turn up, and then Spurs have a really bad game. That's what I'm good for. Yeah.
I
Please,
can
guys. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see expressions. What happened? Whatever the case, if you Spurs win
He
the
will still
final,
turn up. He will still turn up. Yeah. He will still give you a good reaction video.
yeah,
Yeah. Thanks guys for supporting the pod. It's been a long season, but finally got to the end. Hopefully we see you guys on the next episode where we'll review the season and then talk about the mini league and who won and all those things, all the good stuff. All right, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace, guys. Goodbye.